welcome back to my channel. It's Nikisha Bond, and we are continuing going through the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. If you are new here, welcome. So excited you guys decided to join us. Did you know that there are games being played? Did you know that you're being manipulated? I talk about this all the time. We are halfway through all 48 laws. We are on law number 24, talking about play the perfect courtier. So let's go ahead and get into it. And we'll talk about what a courtier is in a minute. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply these laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court. So what is a courtiership? So in human nature, the structure of a court is a society that forms itself around power. So in the past, the court would gather around a ruler, like a king or a queen. And then the rest of those people would be the royalty, the nobility, and basically the upper class. And their whole job was to make sure that they served the master. And if they served him well, they could get elevated in the court. And if they didn't, they could get kicked out completely. So being a courtier had a whole bunch of different rules. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 rules to being a courtier in today's day and age. So since we're in today's day and age, and the book talks about all the olden day and age, talks about kings and queens and what courtiers did right and what courtiers did wrong. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't relate, but who did help me get some relation was ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT. So I put into ChatGPT that I wanted it to kind of summarize law number 24 so that we could just kind of understand, like, what is it that we're supposed to get out of this law? And basically it says, law 24 is advising individuals to navigate the complex world of power by being adaptable, charming, strategically secretive, while understanding the nuances of human psychology and social dynamics. So let's talk about the top 10 ways that you can be a courtier in 2023. And where would we want to be a courtier at? Like anywhere where there's a power structure. So at your job, in your family, right? You might be a kid, your power structure is your parents. So anytime where there's someone above you, how are you supposed to act around them to get the things that you want? That's what we're going to learn. So number one, charm and flattery. So use charm and flattery in people of positions of power because they love for you to tell them what they want to hear. I know. Adaptability. Be adaptable and flexible in your interactions with others. Don't be so staunch in how you have to be. That's some of the feedback that I get when I post these different laws. And people are like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't know what's going on. I'm going to make sure that people know exactly who I am and I'm not changing for anybody. And it's like, you can do that, but it's going to be a lot harder to get the things that you want if you don't learn how to be adaptable. Conceal your intentions. Say less. Not everybody needs to know why you're doing the things that you're doing. You know, and that's good enough. You don't have to let everybody else know. They don't need to know why you're working at this particular job or why you're doing these particular things. You know what the plan is. And so keep it to yourself. That's what I felt in that one. Cultivate a sense of mystery. So people love people that they don't know who they are. Like it's like a mystery. I want to figure out who you are. So be elusive. Let people be curious about you. Don't tell them everything about you. Hold things back. People love to try to figure out a mystery. Aid those in power. You want to make sure that you are assisting people in authority. You want to be their right-hand man. Like, for example, let's say that something happens at the job and you do something. Give your boss the credit for it. Be their support system because then they're going to look at you like, wow, this is an advocate. This is someone that I can depend on because they're looking out for my best interest. So aid those in power. Avoid outshining your superior. So we talked about this and not outshining the master. You don't want to go out there and make the master look bad. You always want to make sure that you are on the master's team. Even if you want to take the master's position one day, you should never let anybody know that. Keep that to yourself. Fluctuate between humility and arrogance. So there's a time to be humble and there's a time to be confident. And so when you really know about things, you definitely want to go out there and be confident in what you know and be helpful in those things. And then when it can make somebody else look better, you might want to be humble and hold back and give somebody else the credit because that's also a form of power, is knowing when to be humble and when to be confident. If you just go out there and you're confident about everything, it's a little harder to get things done. If you're humble about everything, then people might not think that you have the skills to get things done. So you got to know which one you got to use. Master the art of timing. So there's a time and a place for everything. You have to know when is the appropriate time to say things and when is the appropriate time to hold back on certain things. Keep others in suspense. Be unpredictable. No one should know what your full plan is. Even if you're kind of like doing your plan, maybe this person knows that part and that person knows this part. No one should know the whole plan. That's for you and your God. Okay. Don't tell everybody the whole plan. And that way you can keep people into suspense. And number 10, be gracious in defeat. So you have to know when sometimes you have to surrender. You don't have the power in your favor and you need to just cut the cord, and go ahead and go back and regroup so that you can go back and fight another day. So anyways, those are some 10 things from ChatGPT that they found out of the Law of 24, which I agree after reading the book and kind of seeing their summary. That's kind of really what it was talking about. So what are my final thoughts? My final thoughts are that these are good outlines of things that you should do. Be charming, be adaptable, don't tell everybody your business. Don't make people look bad, be gracious in defeat. If you're not going to win, at least you can be gracious about it. I think these are all good things, especially individually. And I think that you should take the ones that work for you and utilize them in the situations that work for you. I wouldn't say you want to master being a courtier, because a lot of those people seemed faked. When you read the book, like they were just really fake. They were out for their own things. You never could trust them. They were just people that I would never have in my circle. So that's kind of what I think about that. I don't think that it's a good or a bad thing. I think that what we want to get from the 48 Laws of Power is what we can get. You can read a book. A book can have 1,000 pages and you can find one line and it can change your life. That's what I want you to look at this. Find something in here that works for you. These are my final thoughts. Find something here that works for you and use it. If you feel like charm and flattery is going to help, use that. If you need to be more adaptable, do that. If you need to learn how to surrender when you're not winning, do that. Do what works for you. That's what I think my final thoughts are, is do what works for you. Hopefully we'll get into some more laws where I have some more things that I agree with so I could give some better advice. But until then, make sure that you make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you share this with a friend, because maybe they need to know how they're going to operate. And this is a couple of tips that they can find of value. Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.